enhanced PFC and the needs it would address. But we do need to address, I did study economics, but it would be useful to have other people counter the argument of Airlines for America, which is that there's absolute price elasticity. $2, $3 PFC, no one's going to fly anymore. $200 ticket change, no problem. $25 for bag, no problem. $50 for bag and the overhead, no problem. $2 PFC, no one will fly anymore. Anybody want to kind of address that, refute that? Yes, go.
So I think there was a GAO study that said that that's really not going to be an issue, and I would concur with your comments that it won't depress demand. I don't find that the airlines object to raising the PFC as much as they object to not having any control over what we use it for. And I think that in order to move the conversation forward, it would be helpful to involve them in some sort of consultative process about what we're going to use our money for. Most of the airlines that I talk to who operate out of our airport are desperate to have infrastructure more efficient and make more sense. And I am confident that as many people would fly out of Pittsburgh in the future as they do today, if not more, if we had a better airport with more air service that would be possible because of a locally imposed PFC.
And of course, you identified in particular, which the chairman was pointing to in a larger sense, the FAA, that the requirements for you to increase your PFC don't work for you, for your needs. I mean,
well, not as it's defined today. Correct.
Yeah.
What we can use it for, we need that to expand.
Right.
Because we have enough capacity for a whole lot of years. That's not our issue. What we don't have is the right capacity, and we don't have efficient capacity.
All right. Mr. Massey and I accommodated that in our bill. We removed that criteria. Anybody else want to comment on this?
Yeah.
I did go to A4A and say, how about if we tier it and they have to show a higher level of need to go to higher PFC or extraordinary need? And the answer was no. They just won't talk about it. So I would like to think that they would be willing to talk about something where they could have a little more input, but I think that some of their members are afraid of the potential for more competition at certain airports. Mr.
I think,
yes.
I think one way that we can view it is that the airlines have found a way to offset the cost associated with baggage or other change fees that they have. And so they have found a way to offset it. So the other way we can look at it is that the airport needs to do the same thing. So we need to find a way to offset the costs associated with the infrastructure that we need to keep pace with the growth that's taking place in the industry. And that means our method of getting that done is through a PFC, uncapping the PFC. So I think that's one way of viewing it as well.
Does anybody, yes, Mr. Donahue.
The other perspective I'd offer, I mean, DFW supports a PFC increase for all the reasons my colleagues mentioned. But when I look selfishly at DFW, we just finished, we're about to finish a $3 billion capital program, and we probably have another $5 to $10 billion in capital requirements, infrastructure requirements moving forward. And the PFC is critical to help us, but it's not the silver bullet. I mean, it's a balanced solution. As an airport, we've got to perform better to generate more revenues that we put back into the airport. Infrastructure, I mean, I'm delighted to hear the infrastructure discussion going on. Probably I'm more excited, and when I hear it, I finally hear airports mentioned, and previously, when I heard infrastructure, I didn't hear airports, and obviously, I think the airports can add value in that discussion moving forward. P3s are an important vehicle. Obviously, we're going to continue to hit the bond market, and obviously, the airlines are going to continue to participate. So we support the increase in the PFCs. We appreciate the bill, but for an airport like DFW, it's bigger than just PFCs.
Sure.
We've got to look at a really balanced solution.
No, I get that, and that's like people who say P3s, private money will solve all our infrastructure problems. No, there's a lot of this is public infrastructure that cannot generate surplus revenues and needs federal investment, and we will continue the AIP program with a slight reduction under the plan we introduced. But I do really, I'm not aware of any other alternative to help people do additional bonding. I mean, the president has admitted that, like LaGuardia and other places really need the investment, but he says he doesn't like fees. Well, I don't know what the alternative is. Someone's got to pay for it. I mean, if anyone has an alternative, let me know. So, but thank you for at least the comprehensive overlay.
Thank you, Mr. DeFazio. Is Mr. Rokita here? No.